Religion is the science of consciousness and cosmos. It has two components, the pure science part and applied science part. All religions have pure science, like universal values, universal truths, time-tested, foolproof, universal truths. Pure science part and applied science. How we apply that pure science in our lives. Some religions may have more percentage of the pure science. Some may have less percentage, but all religions will have naturally the pure science, universal truths as their foundation, fundamental existence, their core component. If we all, religious leaders, spiritual leaders, if we all decide to focus more on the universal truths, pure science, and not have deep state's influence in our applied science, not influence the deep state through our applied science, we will all transform the world in no time. We all religious leaders, leaders of faith organizations, religious organizations, religious influencers, spiritual leaders, if we all decide our applied science part, our organization, our faith infrastructure should neither influence the deep state nor get influenced by the deep state. And if we stop using fear and greed, any deep state strategies like a war, deep states desires to conquer a land, grab a country, being used as a tool for political advantage, if we all decide to keep ourselves away from it and focus on the pure science, we will transform the world in no time, I tell you. If we need to save the planet Earth for humanity, it is only religious leaders who can do, not by political leaders. Political leaders are going to care only about how long they can retain power. Political leaders will not bother about the world getting destroyed next day they get down from the power. That will be their agenda. Because only if the society and their nation collapses after they lose the power, they are going to go down in the history as the great leaders. See, after that great leader, the whole country collapsed. Every leader expects this statement to be written in the history that after they stepped down, after they stopped ruling, the nation collapsed. So that the history will remember them as the great leaders. We should know it's only religious leaders who are going to feel for the humanity and planet Earth. It is we who care for the next generation. It is we who care for the world. If we all decide, even if it is little difficult, if we all come to the conclusion, it is time we won't allow the deep state's influence into our organization, and we will not allow our organization to influence the deep state. We will all transform the world in no time. And I tell you, we are all in a spot, in a situation where the religious harmony is not luxury, it's a survival need. It's a survival need. If we all just stick to our publicly declared agenda without letting the deep state to put their agendas into our organization, and we not putting our hidden agendas into the deep state, that's more than enough. I feel that's a solution. Not only we will be able to keep the interfaith harmony, we can keep the planet Earth safe and alive. We religious leaders, we people of faith, we people of book and God, we people who look up to the higher forces for our existence and the planet Earth's existence. It's we all care for the continuity of the humanity. Continuity of the humanity exists on planet Earth. Political leaders will focus only on their branding in the history. They are not going to be bothered about the safety of the planet Earth or the safety of the humanity. So I feel it's all of us need to be responsible, that we don't allow politicians' undeclared deep state agendas penetrating into our organizations. Some of our organizations' deep state agendas not influencing, using the deep state of the nations. All nations have deep state. Let's agree to this truth. Let's not hide. Let's not be in denial. All nations have their deep state. Means the undeclared agendas of the politicians executed by few influencers who are ready to do any illegal, dirty work. All countries have the network of deep state, which does undeclared, non-transparent activities. If we religious leaders all come together and decide, let's keep deep state away from us. Neither we will benefit by the deep state agendas, nor we will allow the deep state to benefit using our organizations. That's all. I think 90% of the problem among the religions, among the faiths will be solved if we just keep deep state people away. All of us religious people, by our very core, by our very nature, we love peace. All of us who are here, all of us want our library books to be straight. Some of us may not even want to change the location of the book. We all want, after our breakfast, we should be able to pick up the book which we want from our book library cupboard and spend time with our books, contemplate, meditate, do our personal spiritual practice, support our congregation to strengthen their conscious being. We all want this. Fundamentally, we are all peace lovers. That is why we chose religion. We chose faith as our lifestyle, as our full-time life. Not just career, as our living, as our life. We all chose. So it is we all who need to decide to keep planet Earth alive, peaceful for our next generation. For our next generation. My humble request to all the influencers in the field of religion and faith, heads of various religious organizations, my humble request, let's keep the deep state influencers and their agendas away from our organization. Let's make this one resolution. Fundamentally, deep state wants to use religion to expand their territories, to consolidate their influence over the common mass, control and manipulate the common mass. Let us not become part of the deep state's agendas. Let's keep ourselves to the pure science, the universal values on which we founded our faiths and traditions, and our declared agendas. No religion. No religion declares terrorism and conversion as their agenda. But the deep state influencers use religious leaders and organizations and turn them out in practical ground level life use them, manipulate them for their agendas. If we religious leaders decide to God, our organizations saying no to all deep state influences and deciding we will not influence deep state. Let deep state want to expand their territory, let them use army, let them not use religion. Let it be a declared open war between one country and the other country. Let them manage their agendas. Let us not be party to the deep state's agendas. I feel even if few of us, handful of us, start setting a trend, we will not be part of the deep state agendas. We will not lose our conscious sovereignty, our allegiance to God, our allegiance to cosmos, our allegiance to the pure cosmic science. We will be more chaste towards that than the deep state's agendas, influences, and deep states interfering into our affairs. If we stop them and keep them away, not only we will all be peaceful inside our organization, we will all radiate so much peace. And I really feel we need to have a nice network who all say no to politicians and no to deep state influencers influencing religious organizations and using us for their agendas, hidden agendas. We should neither be vote bank for them nor be source of power for them. We should be source of power only for God. God is the only source of power for us. We should be the source of power only for God. If we all decide, we won't allow deep state influences into our organization, and we will also not allow our people to influence deep state. 90% of the world problems will be solved. If we religious leaders, religious influencers, if we decide no deep state influence inside my organization, and my organization will not enter into any form of relationship with the deep state influences, with the shadow government people. I tell you, three things will happen if we all decide. One, we will all be peaceful with absolute certainty about ourselves and our life and our future. That's one. Second, we will gain the faith and trust of the youth, the next generation. next generation is turning into atheist, materialist, anti-religious in alarming speed. More than the speed of the global warming, human beings turning away from God, religion, cosmic science, spirituality is the biggest threat, and the speed is much more than the speed of the global warming. If we decide to keep deep state away from us, we will regain the trust and faith of the next generation, youngsters, youth. Youth is no more interested in getting exploited. Youth is no more interested with people who are working with hidden agendas. We will gain the trust and faith of the next generation, who are the future of planet Earth. Third, above all, we will save planet Earth and humanity, the only home human beings have. The only home human beings have. We can't afford the deep state to destroy planet Earth. Actually, it is we religious leaders need to keep the check and balance. We are okay with politicians ruling the planet Earth. After all, they decided to spend their life on it and let them rule. But they have no right to destroy it. They have no right to eliminate it. We can't allow that. We need planet Earth for next generation. It's only we, the people of book, we, the people of God, we, the people of rope, we, the people of faith, can keep planet Earth safe for the next generation. The strength of our vision is our real asset. The power of our integrity to our vision, the faith we carry towards our agendas, our vision, that is our real asset. With that, surely we can save the planet Earth together for next generation. We can save humanity together, keep them alive for the next generation. We should keep the planet Earth the only home human beings have, at least as on now.